Okay, so what is wrong with this dress? If I do a twirl, maybe you can have a look and see if you can figure out what you think is wrong with this dress. It's the back. This is the front. So this dress I have had in my wardrobe for a few years now. I bought it originally from a charity shop for $8. It was in the window and I walked past and I went, oh, I like that. I walked in, tried it on. Yes, definitely for me, $8, walked out. When I got back, of course, I looked at the label, I found the composition. I gave it a bit of a wash, hand washed it, and it went into my wardrobe. I thought, that's perfect, I really like it. However, since then, I have only actually worn it about a handful of times. I bring it out, I put it on, I try and style it, I try and do things with it. Most of the time, I take it back off and put it back in my wardrobe. I have worn it, as I say, a handful of times, and it's been fine when I've worn it. It is very comfortable. It's really easy to wear. There's no pinching, there's no tight bits, there's nothing. It's very comfortable to wear. It also is definitely my style. The fabric is warm, it's a good composition, it's a nice plaid, which is definitely in my style story. I like the colours in it, they're my colours. The brown is really useful because it means that I can wear brown shoes and handbags and brown accessories with it. It also has this green in it, which is definitely one of my colours. I've got a jumper that I knitted, which is this green colour, and I can wear that over the top and then it looks like a nice little plaid skirt. The base of this fabric is actually dark navy. The sleeves are black. That's very useful because if I want to wear black accessories, it's fine, it goes with the sleeves. If I wear navy, like for instance today I'm wearing navy tights, and the skirt goes really well with the navy tights. If I wear black tights, again, it goes really well because of the sleeves. The fabric is warm, it's comfortable, it's soft, it's not scratchy at all. So the fabric is good, perfect, suits me, right style, right colours, right composition, and it's warm and comfortable and doesn't scratch. Nothing wrong with the fabric. It's a sort of wool fabric, a few hairs on it here. Maggie's been near this, but it's a really nice wool fabric. It's got princess seams and it has sort of waist seams that come in to the sides and then a flat central panel. It has knit sleeves in a really sort of interesting design, but they're black, and I'm hoping you can see how the base fabric here is navy and then the sleeves are black. So the label is Jessie. It's a size 55, 155, 80A. I'm not really sure what size that is. So if I undo the zip at the back, you can see that it's fully lined. It's really nicely lined, it's very comfortable, very soft fabric inside, and it is nicely made. You can see here that this slip does actually have thread tacks to actually attach it to the inside of the skirt. So it's sort of well thought through and nicely made. The design of the dress. I like the neckline. I like the wider boat neck. That I find is very flattering on me. It shows my collarbone, which I like as well. I think that it widens my shoulders so they appear a little bit wider than they actually are. I have quite narrow shoulders. So the shoulder seam actually is on my shoulder. So the fit on top is very good. It fits my bust, my upper half, it fits very nicely at the waist. There's a nice bit of room in here, but not too much. It's an A-line, so it scoops nicely over my hips, just skims my hips, and there is no sort of bunching or sucking in or anything that I really don't want to happen down there. The interest is kept into the center. So the pleats are further in on the front and on the back. There are no pleats on the sides, so there's no extra bulk on the sides. The lines are mostly vertical, which is very flattering because I'm quite petite, and having these lines going up and down sort of elongates me a little bit. So all the style and design is good. It's got a princess seam, which again is very flattering on my figure. It is also all in one, if you like. So there are no separating pieces through the middle. That sort of shorten different bits. I have a long torso and then of course a relatively short legs, and so having all in one means that you don't sort of get that, you don't see the shorter legs and the longer torso. So there is actually a waistline seam here, and it is a little higher than my natural waist. So it's about 1 inch higher than my natural waist, which is perfect for my longer torso because it just basically makes my legs look longer and my torso slightly shorter. And these pleats come up to that slightly higher waistline, which again sort of balances out my proportions. It works with everything in my wardrobe. So I've got a leather jacket which I wear over the top. It's a black leather jacket. It works really nicely with the black elements in this dress. It also is great for layering. So I can get a merino polo neck underneath here to make it extra warm if I need to. I could also put a merino boat neck underneath it, which would add extra warmth, but you wouldn't see it. I could wear it with a cardigan over the top, or as I say, I could put a jumper over the top, and that again would make it look like a little skirt. I can wear a jacket over. I have a couple of jackets that go really nicely with this dress, with the plaid and with the colours. So layering works really well with this dress as well. And of course, we're going to the UK in the hopefully near future. What I'm looking for is winter dresses, warmer dresses for that colder climate. So this dress would be perfect as a layering piece for the winter. I could put cardigans over the top, jackets over the top of that, coats, hats, gloves, everything over the top of that, because I'm likely to be very cold for the beginning bit at least, until I get used to the new climate. So what is the problem? What's wrong with this dress? Because there is something wrong with this dress. The problem with this dress is that when I put it on and I look in the mirror, I feel that it's a bit too young for me. Now, that's irrational. I mean, it's irrational. There's nothing about this really that is like a teenage dress. But that's how I feel. And because I feel that, it matters, because you need to feel good in your clothes. You need to feel right in your clothes. And if something doesn't feel right, you're not going to wear it and be happy with it. So I've just stood in front of the mirror and I have gone through absolutely everything. The fabric, the fit, is it my style? Is it right for the context of my life? Does it fit in with the rest of my wardrobe? Can I layer it? Does it work with the other things? Is it me? Yes, all of those things are a big tick. So why do I feel that this is too young for me? And it's down to one tiny thing. It's too short. Only by about that much, but it's too short. All of the skirts and dresses I have in my wardrobe are at least knee length, and this dress is just above knee length. And that's the only thing. It's the length of this dress that is the problem. All my dresses and skirts in my wardrobe are at least knee length. Usually they're just below the knee. That's the most flattering for me, I find, is if it's just below the knee. And some of my skirts come to calf length and some of them are even ankle length. But I don't have anything that is above the knee apart from this one dress. Surely that's a relatively easy fix, isn't it? I should be able to sort that out. Well, I have looked, and this has a turn up, a hem on here that is about about 3.5 centimetres. I think it's just over an inch and a bit. I could turn that down. Now I will need to put some sort of bias hem on it because of course, obviously it's a hem as it is, it will need some way of being a hem. But I have bias binding in my stash that is this green colour. So I'm going to just turn it down and then put a bias hem. Now I'm hoping that's going to be long enough. But if it isn't long enough, I could always add a little ribbon or something along the bottom or on the bottom, I'm thinking. But I just need that extra length. So I did think, could I add a little bit of fabric to the bottom? I've been through my stash to see if I could find anything that would work. And the problem that I found is that this base colour it's such a dark navy, and navies are very, very particular. They tend to be sort of, you've got to get the navy just right. So apart from it being a wool fabric, the navy is very specific. It's not black, it's almost black. I don't have anything like this colour. I think if I put anything like the brown or the green or the white as an extra bit, the attention would all be down on this extra piece of fabric that's on the bottom. And of course I don't want to do that because it's going to alter all the proportions and things could go horribly wrong. You'd be drawn to this band along this sort of my knees, which is not really where I want the focus to be. But I'm going to try turning it down first and then we'll see where we get to. Now I need to do some investigation first. It is important when you're turning something down to look and see if there is any wear on that edge, to see that when you turn it down you aren't going to be able to see the original fold line. I think with this one, when I turn it down and give it a really good press, it will just disappear into the plaid. So let's give this a go and see if I can get rid of this irrational feeling that I have about the age of it. I'm pretty certain it's the length. So let's try turning it down and see if I can get rid of that feeling, and then it can become a core piece in my wardrobe, which I wear again and again and again. And I think this is really important, to have a look at what's in your wardrobe and then really evaluate it. Have a little bit of an analysis session with it and see what is wrong and what is right with that item. So have a little look at those things. Is the fabric a good fabric? Does the fabric work for you? Are the colours right? Are the proportions right on your body? Does it fit well? Is it comfortable? Does it accentuate the things you want accentuating and hide the things you don't want sort of put out there on display so much? Is it suitable for your climate? Is it suitable for your lifestyle? All of those sorts of things are really important. Does it go with the other things in your wardrobe? These are some of the key things you need to think about when you're assessing a piece in your wardrobe and seeing potentially why you're not wearing it as much as you would like to or think that you should be. Is it earning its coat hanger, essentially? Okay, so the next bit, of course, is to unpick what I've got here. Put on my best high-powered glasses. So I've unpicked it. It was very quick. Now what I'm going to do is actually press it because I want to see if that new length is going to be enough. Okay, so I'll show you what it looks like. So it's just on the knee. It's better, it's a lot better, but it's still just a little bit too short. Wish me luck, because this has to be a very specific fabric. All that, going to the fabric shop, going to Draper's, looking at all of their fabrics. I must have been in there about half an hour or more looking at all their fabrics. I found one fabric in the end that I thought was quite good, and then when I looked at it, it wasn't right, there wasn't enough, it just wasn't going to work. So I got hungry and I just left. In the end, didn't get anywhere. Anyway, when I came back, I said to my daughter, you don't have any scraps of like navy fabric that might work for this dress, do you? And she said, yeah, she brought me over a couple of samples. She wears a lot of navy. So she brought over some corduroy, which wasn't quite right because it was a bit thick. But this was good. Look at this. It's just a very nice plain navy fabric. I think I was with her when she bought this. I think it was basically the fabric she used for the first skirt that she ever made that I helped her with. And of course she still had it, and she's looking to get rid of it because of course she's going overseas in 2 weeks I think now. So anyway, this fabric is perfect, I think. Let me show you. It is just a really nice plain navy, and it's the right sort of navy. This navy I really struggled with. It's a dark navy. It's sort of blue, but it's not too blue, and it's not very black, and all the navies were like darker, or they were bluier, or they just weren't right. Navies are so difficult to match. Anyway, I think this is the fabric that I'm going to use. Also, it was free, so that to me is really good, because this dress was $8. I like it, but I haven't worn it that much, and to be able to try and fix it so it's wearable for free is perfect. And then of course I will always know that I've got some of my daughter's fabric on the bottom of my dress, and it was the fabric she used for her first ever sewing project, so that's pretty cool. What I'm going to do is actually cut a strip of this. I think I only need like a couple of inches, on the bottom. So what I might do is actually double it up to make the hem a sort of almost like the hem is double thickness, and then I can just do one seam where it attaches to the skirt, and I won't have to bother sort of separately hemming it. And I can tell, because this is a tartan fabric that with lines on it, that there isn't any shaping in the skirt. It is just literally boxed round. The shaping is done in with these pleats. So all I need is a long strip of fabric which I fold in half, and then I'm going to stitch it to just machine stitch it to the edge of this skirt, and that will give me a sort of, hopefully quite a nice sort of weighty hem, I think. I've just tested it out a little bit, and I've decided that I want the band at the bottom to be 6 centimetres deep. So therefore twice that will be 12, and then I'm just adding another centimetre so I can do the tiniest attachment to the actual bottom of the skirt, which really only has about 5 mil that's sort of got overlocking on. So I thought, well, that would be a great, that would be where the seam would be. So now what I'm doing is just marking it out on the fabric. I actually ran a thread, pulled a thread to get the straight of grain, the straight of edge on this side, and now what I'm doing is I'm just using that straight edge and marking the width of the strip all the way along here. I can then use this as a pattern to make the next strip. So there will be 2 pieces with a seam at the side. Well, I am really pleased with that. It's come out really nicely. I think it looks quite smart on the bottom. I think it looks like it's sort of part of the dress and could always have been there, which is sort of what I was hoping. And I think the blue really matches well, so really pleased with that. I've just given it a good press. It was a very quick alteration. There was a bit of a detour going to the fabric shops, which turned out to be unnecessary, and that probably took the most time, because literally I just cut some strips. Well, I unpicked it, that took hardly any time, cut some strips, zoomed it round on the machine, zoomed it round on the overlocker, gave it an iron. Job done. So yeah, hopefully this will make it a lot more wearable. I've already put it on and I feel much more comfortable in it, much more grown up. So I'm really pleased. And of course now I will put it on and do a bit of a twirl and show you what it looks like in the reveal.